Monica down the road, which could be like a flashback or something. But I like that they're leaning into like the horror element of it, and you can see a bit. Like I like that Wanda. You can see that she created the bubble.
Yeah.
At this point, you can totally tell that it's her, and that she's protecting herself from accepting the reality of Vision being gone.
Yeah. But there's definitely something else going on there, because with Agnes especially, I mean, I think you definitely have that Mephisto is definitely going to be a part of this. But yeah, she's definitely the one that's doing this. And I like how you saw just the slim little image of the bubble, and then just went off. But and you saw all the sword agents. I mean, they were established right outside of it. Like, holy shit!
Hey Nick,
yes.
Do you think? Oh,
foreshadowed it.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say that. Do you think that whatever her name is, the neighbor, Agatha, Algus? I can't think of her name.
Agatha.
But do you think her husband? Yeah, do you think her husband is Mephisto, and that's why we haven't seen him yet?
Yeah,
in that episode, she was like, oh, he looks better in the dark.
Exactly.
And then the last episode, I saw that in a breakdown. It was all like, oh, this is just the devil. And then she's all like, then you haven't met my husband, and I'm like, okay. There's a lot of hints.
Yeah, the devil's in the details.
Yeah, the devil's in the details. I mean,
it's not the only place.
There was, a lot of people were saying that Dottie was another character. I was seeing that pop up this last week. Trying to figure that out. I thought it was just really good.
But no, Barcy, I agree. That was the moment that everything changed for the entire series. I think right when she said Ultron, and then I think Gavin pointed out that was Ultron's theme that played in the background as well. And Ty had a good point. He said that was the first time she's ever acknowledged that since it happened in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, which is strange,
and that was pretty significant, and it totally rocked her, and it made her realize that something is happening, and she literally booted her out so that she wouldn't have to face reality, because she didn't want this world to end. That's that degree. I mean, it was crazy.
And that commercial, the commercial, the only one that happened, it foreshadows it. I mean, it's talking about creating a world for only self, right? So what is Wanda doing? Essentially, from what we can tell, is she's created a world all herself to keep her safe. They say everything that you need to know right in that commercial.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, Hydra soak. So the question then becomes, that's what it was called. So then the question becomes, where exactly does this fit in the timeline? Where is this? How far after the blip is this? When she returned, is it just like because we see her come back, and she fights Thanos, and then the last thing we see her is the funeral scene, and then that's it. Right. There's been, that's what I'm waiting for now.
Yeah. She never really had if you think about it, Vision dies, she then gets blipped, she comes back, immediately has to fight Thanos, and she never really gets a time to grieve. So I think once after Endgame, right, it's when she sits down and it really starts to hit her. So I do think this is right at, maybe.
Well, did you hear about the deleted scene?
Endgame?
Yeah, did you hear about the deleted scene?
Oh, the Vision deleted scene from Infinity War?
Yeah, from Endgame. From Endgame. There's supposed to be a deleted scene where it showed him in a body bag.
Yes.
And everything else. But if you look at so she's keeping him alive in her mind and her power. And this could lead into the whole House of M storyline, which could tie into Doctor Strange. This is clearly going to tie into Doctor Strange as well as Spider-Man, which is why Sony did not delay Spider-Man 3 today. They delayed everything else under the sun.
Morbius until January of 2022.
I know.
That was insane.
Venom 2 is not delayed, right?
I don't know.
Venom 2 didn't get delayed.
Venom 2 has not been yet. I do know that Uncharted got moved to the end of the year. They bumped that. They bumped Morbius. They bumped Morbius all the way.
I didn't think they were going to get to Morbius, but I guess so.
I'm so sick.
Well, because I think Venom is still set for June. Because here's the thing: is 1.3 million vaccines rolled out today, right? So it's like, and if Amazon is helping out with that, as well as Johnson and Johnson's vaccine, I think another company's vaccine, they're gonna steamroll the country with vaccines, right? You know, you're not gonna be able to walk anywhere without getting a shot. So I think theaters will be open. June feels like a good estimate at this point.
Yeah, and it's just what has a bigger IP, Morbius or Venom 2, which the first Venom almost made $1 billion.
Yeah, Venom 2.
But because of China. So, and that's the thing. China. And that, which was surprising, simply because, you know, I liked Venom quite a bit. I liked it actually quite a bit. And I was surprised that it did as well as it did here in the States, but China's what kind of carried it. And I think Sony is realizing that they need these movies to make money. So they need to put those kind of things out. Yeah.
But I mean, it just
Stay above.
Yeah, but going back to the episode though, I mean, I thought it was really interesting. I mean, like it really picked up as the episode went on, and the fact that you know, I can't get over the fact that, you know, she finally, you know, Petro's name came up, and Ultron came up, and like we haven't heard that shit in so long. So it was almost refreshing to hear those character names again that we haven't seen in so long, because, you know, it's kind of bringing back, you know, those days of Age of Ultron, you know, when you know, Marvel was so still kind of new and strong, you know.
The good old days.
The good old days. But Venom is so predictable. But and Venom rules. But so now that she's booted her out, do you think that she'll make it? Do you think that she'll try and get back into the bubble to try and communicate with her?
No,
Yes.
I think she's going to be our character on the outside.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, question. What the fuck is up with that stork? For real.
well,
even
it was
with WandaVision's magic, she couldn't like get it away.
because she couldn't stop what was happening.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. Like the stork was indicating that the babies were coming, because the stork was painted on the wall, the imagery of that bringing the stork, and then she couldn't stop what was coming. And that's kind of been every time she's been kind of almost having to face reality. Like at the end of the second episode where the beekeeper came out of the sewer, and she said no, and it flashed back. And then in this episode when Vision's like, you know, something weird is happening, and then it just does that hard jump cut.
Yeah.
Where it goes back and he's like, she totally caused all that to happen. So she every time there is a crack in the seam or in the foundation, she will do something to protect herself. And I think at this particular point, having the kids, you know, that's what she wanted, you know, with Vision. She wanted to have a family, especially after losing Pietro and everything else. Did you notice that the baby, because we only really see a clear look at one of the baby boys, and he's got a little dot on his head, like where Vision's stone is. It's like a little birthmark in the center of his forehead.
Let me find it right now.
I mean, I
noticed that too.
It was very faint. It wasn't like a Harry Potter scar sort of situation.
Yeah,
but it was very faint.
Very, very faint. Let me see if I can find that image. And
also, am I the only one getting kind of quantum realm vibes from the end credit sequence?
Yeah, it really does. It does.
It's very Ant-Man.
Were the kids named
like
Tommy and Billy? Those are the names of Wiccan and Speed, like her act like they're superhero. So makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting because what's his name? Speed. Her son, I think Billy is the one that's known as Speed. He's much like Quicksilver, but he has like a green, kind of like he's a speedster. And I found it interesting when WandaVision was all like, "I feel kick," and she's like, "Oh no, it's way more than that." I'm like, "Is that like a speedster, just like multiple kicking?"
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus, that would hurt so bad.
Well, that's my question. So, like, are the kids going to carry on in the series, or are the kids just going to be a manifestation?
Well, they did in the comics. Like, she didn't with Vision. Didn't in the comic House of M. Vision. Oh, she like had that whole family. Vision didn't come back with them, but her kids did, which is kind of strange.
Okay.
And they became the Young Avengers.
Yeah, I definitely think, because it looks like they're really trying to build up that Young Avengers as it is. So I think that bringing them back into reality is something that they're definitely going to do. And Billy is Wiccan and Tommy is Speed.
Okay, Tommy is Speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Vision was like, so she made a deal with the devil and created those children. Vision was a figment of her imagination, like manifesting. So that's why they continued.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
So these kids are Mephisto's kids. No, I'm kidding. Just like
they're shards of theoretically, I guess, right?
Yeah, theoretically, yeah. I mean, he's like, yo, baby.
But a straight baller.
Now, but the question, so then it's like, but how did she meet the devil? That's my question.
Well, I mean, I think we're gonna figure that out.
Is it much like because Mephisto is the one that had to deal with Ghost Rider, so I'm wondering if like maybe she appeals to WandaVision as like a innocent person, because Mephisto is the same person that made the deal with Johnny Blaze, like, oh, I'll save your son from cancer, but I need you to become my spirit of vengeance.
That's true.
Okay.
That's
well,
the same character,
and there was the Ghost Rider show that was under development with under Jeff Loeb with Marvel Television, was canceled, and they that was canceled a while back, and so I'm wondering if they're trying to now tie in Ghost Rider to this, which would make the most amount of sense.
Possibility.
Because if they're going down that pathway, why not give us Johnny Blaze? That'd be so cool.
Oh, dude, right?
Bad, dude.
Give
back
it, you know,
Nicolas
but
Cage.
yes, exactly. Bring back Nick Cage, 100%.
Read House of M, definitely, because it's a good read regardless, and it sheds a lot of light on this storyline as well. It's not exactly the same, but I think it's definitely some inspirations from that storyline. Kong vs. Godzilla trailer. I mean, I don't know if Ghost Rider is going to show up, but still.
No, they're not gonna do it now. Ghost Rider will be like a phase 5 or phase 6.
Yeah, but it establishes Ghost Rider, with that universe, that he's in the universe. Because you have Mephisto running around. I don't think he's gonna die at the end of this, obviously, but I mean, the kids are born, and man, there's just so much going on. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Well, so I'm on Reddit right now, like I do, and apparently there's a thing here saying that Elizabeth Olsen.
Jack, no, we're not gonna get Nick Cage.
Never say never. Never say never.
Never say never.
If they're bringing back, if they're bringing back, Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx and whatever.
You never know, dude. You never freaking know.
They could easily
multiverse.
Multiverse, multipass.
Dude, imagine like a movie with Ghost Rider and Blade. Oh, dude, that would be like my dream rated R. Yeah. Like,
what if it was Keanu Reeves as Ghost Rider?
Oh my god!
I mean, because they've literally wanted to work with Keanu for like the longest time. But anyway,
Satan. My head is on fire.
But so real quick.
But anyway, real quick. So apparently, according to Elizabeth Olsen, she assumes that she'll be in Spider-Man 3. She says, I assume you might see Wanda in Spider-Man 3 if everyone's in it, but I haven't showed up to that party yet. And that was something that she had said. So she's teasing that she'll be in, because they are going to tie in Spider-Man 3 with Doctor Strange. And since the Multiverse of Madness is all about Scarlet Witch, it would make sense that whatever is going to be happening at the end of WandaVision might break open the universe, which would then allow for Spider-Man 3 to happen the way that we think it's going to happen.
But if this leads directly into Doctor Strange, then I would imagine that at the end of this series, we're going to get a cameo or an appearance of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. I mean, you have to have some kind of connection to it.
Yeah.
And then Ty, why don't you take this question right here? Do you think Ultron will appear? WandaVision has too big of a budget for smoke and super speed.
Me?
Yes.
No. No, I as awesome as that would be, because I know a lot of people really didn't like Ultron. I was a fan of James Spader's Ultron. I thought it was done well, or as well as it could have been done in the cinematic universe that Marvel has. But I just don't think they already have a lot going on, and they're not going to try to pull too much into that. I think that's as much as we get.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a major cameo. It might be something at the very end to go coming in 2022.
Yeah, no, that's what Matt. I think you're onto something there, because if you really think about it,
voice do coming.
Yeah,
coming. Do you have your hand lotion ready? Coming. 2022.
No.
Someone said, "Here comes the sex jokes," and I can't disappoint.
He can't disappoint. He's always good for it. I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I know, right? But he loves it. That's great. But no, it's definitely. I mean, it sucks. There's only one freaking episode. I mean, right? There was only one, right?
Yeah, I told you. Yeah, you're like, oh, episodes 3 and 4, and I'm like, there's only one
There was
episode.
going to do 2 at a time. I don't know.
Why would you
Nickelodeon
ever
exclusive.
think? Yeah, why would you think there was ever going to
Oh,
be a
look,
number 4?
Look, episode 4 is right here. No, I'm just playing. It's a glitch on my end.
It's a
I
glitch
was
in
like-
the system.
They can
Well,
do
the
that.
thing
I was
is,
like, shit, I gotta put on my
They
glasses
get
again.
back.
The movie journalists, the bloggers, have only seen the first 3 episodes. So so now they're as blind as the rest of us are, which is going to be great.
Yeah,
because
fuck
then it's
that.
like because the thing is, like, last week they already had all their videos out. They had
they
had
did.
all
They
their
were like,
videos ready to
I've
go.
seen the first 3 episodes, and let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sent for Disney, so I got to see them exclusively.
I would tongue Mickey's asshole if it got me some of those exclusives, but I'm just
Hell
saying,
yeah.
give me some of that
yeah.
Star Wars
Yeah.
stuff, right? Yeah,
Money.
I would do it. Like, I mean, like, I flew to LA early to go see Rise of Skywalker, and I'm like, I can totally turn this into something. I could not turn it into something. I didn't have time. I didn't have time. I just didn't have time. But no, I do think with this whole series, we're
What's
going to
up,
get
Tony?
a lot of expansion of character. I'm really hoping we get to see a couple other characters pop up. Like, I do think they're going to find a way to tie it in to Falcon and Winter Soldier, because that's coming, I think, in March or April. Is
March.
Falcon and Winter
March.
Soldier.
March.
Nice.
Same
Yes.
month as the Snyder Cut in Congress. March.
We don't. Well, we don't. We
March
still
is
don't
what-
know if Snyder Cut's coming in March. We still don't know at this point.
It's
I'm
coming in March, dude. It's
It's
coming.
it's not coming. I would bet $5. Well, I don't want to
It
bet
could
money, but
be-
like a gentleman's bet that it's not coming in March.
Could be Easter.
So
I would
Okay,
say
how about
maybe
this? How about this?
Easter.
Okay, Matt. If it's not gonna be Easter, I don't think it's gonna be Easter because you have Mortal Kombat.
Easter's a
coming out
bit
in
too
April.
on the.
You have
too
Mortal
on the
Kombat
nose,
coming
isn't it?
out, and you have the next what is it? There's another movie coming out too after Mortal Kombat. Is it a fast movie? No. But
Yeah,
anyway,
but-
you have Mortal Kombat, but still,
Listen, if I
no. You
if
listen.
I was
Go ahead.
HBO,
No, you listen.
This is
all
my
right,
show.
yeah. If I was
Well,
HBO
okay.
and I wanted to get people subscribed for 2 months, I would let Kong come out, and then people have already paid for March because they want to see Kong, and then you hit them with the Snyder Cut in April, and then you keep people like business wise. That would be the way to do it. You get
Yeah, but you already have Mortal
100%.
Kombat coming out in April.
That's
I
not
still
going to
think-
bring that many people.
I
in.
still think it's gonna.
You have to give each property room to breathe. You can't
No,
just
you
like,
don't. No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Well, then the
it's
Snyder Cut
subscription
just never
based.
comes out. Then
It's just the whole. That's the whole thing. This argument doesn't make a lot of sense because I've seen people make the argument, and it's like doing a 4-episode limited series, spacing it out over the span of a month, doing it like where.
But they're not going to do that though. He's
No,
already
they're not.
said.
They're not going to do that. They're not going, and that's stupid of them to do. And again, it just kind of proves the argument that they're trying to bury this damn thing. But
Well,
also,
not really. The only reason they scrapped that idea was because they found out that HBO Max. So when they won the Snyder Cut and Zach pitched them the idea, they wanted like, let's have content, let's have weeks where they can be subscribed. But then they're like, oh well, we're putting all of our movies for Warner Brothers this year on
but
HBO
Zach had
Max.
already when he originally pitched the idea to them. That's how he gave the presentation back in February, was by presenting it as a limited series with cliffhangers that led
Yeah.
into the next episode.
Yeah.
And that's how he pitched it. And that's what they wanted.
that's
To
why
them
he
to-
got more scenes.
Yeah. So he wanted to finish it up and get it all done. The whole point is that, again, when you're talking about streaming and money and subscriptions, it makes no sense to drop it at once. It just doesn't. So this is either, again, it's going to come out either it's going to be at the end of the quarter or the beginning of a quarter. So April, probably, maybe.
Okay, Matt, I'll make you a gentleman's bet. Okay, if it comes out in April, then I will go on my show and I will announce you as the king of all the internet. And if
I'm good. I'm already there. So I
Bullshit.
I appreciate it.
Bullshit.
No, look, here's the thing. I don't know. Look,
You
I'm
were
just
there.
telling.
I
I'm
said
just
April
telling.
too.
Oh, fuck you. That's a low blow. That's a low blow. But no, it's all good. I think. Look, I'm just saying. Looking at it, what they've already announced. Okay, them moving Godzilla v Kong from the end of May, from like Memorial Day weekend to end of March, is a fuck you to Snyder. It's a fuck you to Snyder. They're going to be moving Snyder Cut back because we've been getting release schedules or at least release times for certain properties, but the Snyder Cut is not one of those properties, which means that they're holding on to it to when they can. It's going to be the most advantageous to them to do, which is going to be at the end of the quarter, because that is when they're going to want to make the most amount of money off subscriptions in order to then have that financial report come out.
Real quick, Rush, I don't give a shit about Lois and Clark. I thought the trailer looked fucking stupid, so that's my thought. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, it's like everyone's like, don't jinx it. I'm like, no, but this is how business works. This is how business works. You know, they have to.
It could be the case. It could be the case, but I don't know.
I want it to come out now. I want to watch it now.
I can't see it being pushed out that much farther. I mean, how much longer are we going to have to wait for this shit?
But see, the thing is, though, none of that matters, though.
And the 4th of July?
Hey, but Nick, but Andre, let me ask you this, man.
What?
How long have you had an HBO Max subscription?
Since last year.
That's right. That's right. Me too.
I've had it for 7 years. Well,
no, HBO
I
Max.
Well, HBO. Yeah.
Like,
And again, but again, going back to what Ty is saying there. What is it? What are the reports you're hearing? Well, yeah, Ty Pop. We're hearing back a while back is that there's only like 12 million HBO Max subscribers, but there are 28.7 million eligible HBO accounts that could get HBO Max, and they're not getting HBO Max. So why is that? That's been my question for a while now. Why is it that these people are not migrating over to HBO Max? That's a question. And so those 28 million people that are eligible,
that's a good question.
How many of those people are going to want to come on over for a Snyder Cut? The Snyder Cut's a big push. It's a big push, but so is The Matrix 4, so is Godzilla, so is Suicide Squad, and everything else they've got coming out.
Yeah, they haven't shown the Snyder Cut in that HBO Max promo. It had all the different movies.
Yeah,
but those are movies that were going in theater and HBO Max.
Well, here's my.
That is true.
When is Army of the Dead coming out?
I just think it falls into a different category.
So yeah, that's my hope.
It's a different category. It's an HBO Max exclusive.
Yeah, but the thing is like Netflix. They're going to want to compete with Netflix.
CW, come on.
How much you want to bet? And this, I'm just kind of being speculative here, but.
Series, I get.
Netflix has 196 million worldwide subscribers, right? And Zach has got Army of the Dead coming out later on this year. At this point, because we've seen more out of Army of the Dead than we have seen from the Snyder Cut outside of the trailer in an official promotional capacity. So I'm thinking to myself, what if they're waiting to see how Army of the Dead does on Netflix and use that as a lead-in for Justice League? Because they can put Justice League out whenever. They can put Justice League out whenever.
Possible, but I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, you're saying we see more Army of the Dead? I mean, all I've seen is this. That's it. Yep.
And there's been a trailer that we saw back in August for Snyder Cut.
Yeah, but still,
it's got Entertainment Weekly pictures.
I mean, look, we have images. We have a trailer.
We have what Zach has shown us, and that's not. And even then, and I'm just.
Zach is gatekeeping.
He's not gatekeeping. Yeah, I'm just saying it's like we have to start looking at this now from the marketing perspective. Where is the information coming from, and how far is the reach? How wide is the reach?
Look at Rashnan just.
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
It's a blunt statement.
I'm just.
All right, Barcy. Have a good night. Thank you.
Why are you mad at me? I'm right.
No, I'm not. The thing is, when I talk about these things,
Jarbo, damn it.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying I support it. I'm not saying
speculative.
He's being speculative.
I'm just saying it's like looking at what we see.
There is a good chance that it is going to get pushed off. I don't know that for sure. I hope it doesn't happen because I want to see it as soon as possible.
I'll tell you this. There was a time. Wasn't there a Times Square billboard for the Snyder Cut recently?
No, it was in Austin, Texas.
It was in Austin. Okay,
yeah.
So that is
Austin,
a little different.
Okay, I forgot where it was. I thought it was Times Square. I just saw it really quick on Twitter. But the idea there is if they put the billboard out like that, so that means they were starting to ramp up the marketing. Now there's been nothing new, right? This was also before Godzilla took the end of March slot. So it's like if they're releasing a film every couple weeks, and the Snyder Cut's now considered a 4-hour film, which is a mistake in my opinion, then it's going to come out at a time when there's a gap that they can fill. So it's a reserve property at this point. It's a reserve property.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to theaters, so they can put it out whenever they want. They don't have to deal with a worldwide global rollout in countries where cinemas are still available. They can literally drop it whenever they want.
is that HBO Max is still not available in a lot of countries around the world. So even if you drop it, I mean, shit. If I were to do a watch party, the half the world would be like, "Oh, Ty, I get to watch the Snyder Cut now. I got to listen to talk the whole time, but still, I'll watch it." You know,
they just said there was.
I think real quick though, I think that is another issue, is that HBO Max and Warner Brothers are looking at is like, they know that this film or the Snyder Cut has such a global audience that right now half of the people that would watch it would pirate it because they can't watch it. They can't.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Is that, and that's why I don't want to do a watch party for ZSGL, because I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
I want the subscribers to go through HBO Max. I'm trying to support HBO Max, but until they can get it worldwide, then maybe you're right, Matt. Maybe they are going to hold off, saying, "Hey, look, we got to hold off because we're not ready to put it out yet. Because we're not ready to go full scale, full blown, all over the world." Snyder Cut.
Okay, so Variety, and I just remember reading this. Variety announced a couple days ago, Warner Media sets HBO Max leadership for Europe, Middle East, and Latin America. So that is a new person that they have hired, a woman by the name of I don't know what the hell their names are. They don't say. Christina Suelbach will take over the reins as a general manager of HBO Max in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, while Louis Duran is filling the position for HBO Max Latin America in February. So they're trying to expand to Europe, Middle East, Africa, Latin America. Those are big markets. But I'll tell you this, though. I was talking with Rasha Taylor the other day, and she brought up the fact that she's in New Zealand, and HBO Max isn't available in New Zealand. And if they're releasing it in March, there's no way they're going to do a rollout in March in New Zealand. This is not going to happen. So she's like, well, then I'm stuck. I can't watch it anyway. And notice how there was no mention of Australia, and here's the biggest fucking kicker, Brazil. DC is huge in Brazil. And that was Latin America, Europe. Yeah, that was a big one. So,
hey, Brian, I know you got to go. So, Brian, thank you for being here. I'll see you next week.
Yeah,
take care,
absolutely.
man.
You guys have a good one.
All right.
Have a good one, brother.
Later.
So WandaVision,
guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, so we're here to watch WandaVision.
I'm sorry to dash people's night. I am so sorry that I'm the one who has to come into your show and dash everyone's hopes and dreams.
I'd rather you come in and do that than not be here at all. So,
well, I mean, it's not that I'm trying to be a dick about it. I'm not. I'm just saying
you're being realistic about it.
This is I mean, I want it now. I've been wanting it since 2017. So it's not like I'm, I don't know. Maybe I'm cynical. I'll tell you this, man. Everything being delayed today, none of it bothered me. Right? None of everything being delayed today bothered me. I'm like, fuck it. At this point, we'll wait. We've been waiting a year. I haven't gone to the cinema in a year.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just kind of okay.
It didn't surprise me. I'll tell you that. When we heard about the delays, it did not surprise me whatsoever. No. Especially, because Bond's been delayed already again. Now Morbius, now a bunch of other titles as well. So it's going to happen. And so,
so Dame Dollar in the Twitch chat says HBO Go in Brazil is gone, become HBO Max, but HBO Go is gone in general.
Yeah, HBO Go has been dissolved.
So if it is in Brazil, which is good. But it goes back to that whole thing I said about the 28 million eligible accounts. I don't know where those are centrally located. I would assume a lot of them are the United States. But another thing I read was that since Game of Thrones ended, HBO has actually lost the vast majority of its 18 to 49 male demographic. So, and then additionally speaking to this fact, what properties on HBO Max are exclusive to HBO Max and not just a carryover from HBO? That's the other factor of that too. When Lovecraft Country dropped over the summer, that was simultaneous on HBO Max and HBO. Real Time with Bill Maher Friday nights, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Euphoria. It is across the board. HBO Max needs to phase out. They've already phased out HBO Go. They got to get rid of HBO Now, and they probably have to get rid of HBO as its own entity. They have to. Otherwise, they're going to fail. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to reach a new market. People are institutionalized with the cables. We're talking about fucking boomers here, dude. Boomers who don't know how to operate Netflix properly. Do you think they're going to fuck around and want to get another service? Or I don't know what the hell is happening. Fuck me, Jesus. My grandfather before he died still got Netflix DVDs because he didn't understand how to use Netflix Instant.
My wife actually had Netflix DVDs just recently too, and I was like, "Why the fuck do you have this for?" She's like, "Well, there's certain movies I want to watch." I'm like, "Dude, really?" We cancel it though.
Well, yeah. So
the Spider-Man 3 will probably get delayed too. I hope not. I really do.
They won't.
They won't. It's too big of a property to delay it at this point.
Yeah, it's gonna tie into all the MCU. It's gonna like mess up their. They had like so they were like working out all this stuff with MCU, and they were like, okay, this is gonna be set. They're not gonna have to like reorganize movies and have to reset it again. Like after literally being like, oh, we just came out with this new thing and we're gonna have to reset it again. They might do it, but it would suck.
I mean, I'm looking at just today was Sony moving all these movies back and reshuffling everything. And then, a couple days ago, Black Widow was talked about being shuffled. They're not going to put Black Widow on Disney Plus Premiere because it's $1 billion movie. They're going to hold the line. They're right now with WandaVision being exclusive and people are watching it and talking about it. That's giving them their MCU fix. And this is again the issue with HBO Max is like, okay, cool. HBO Max brought in the Batman animated series, Batman Beyond, which is great, by the way. They need to bring all the other DC animated universe movies on there, and they need to start really building that up and then marketing it and doing all that. This is why I just don't know what the hell they're doing, because I feel like everything they do just takes forever.
But the marketing for ZSGL is supposed to start next month. And so, yeah, James, if it doesn't, then yes, I think it does get pushed off to May.
That.
Chris Wong said it. There's a ton of people that I know who said the same thing.
And the thing is, look, I just want to quickly point out, so I saw people saying this in the chat. They go, well, Zach said this. Zach is not in control of that. That's what you have to understand. Zach is not in control.
I don't care about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
You need to shut the fuck up. Because I can red pill you on Ghostbusters Afterlife. I can. We'll do it later. But
the movie is set during Christmas.
I think Kylar is
moved to
smart
like the
enough.
summer.
Yeah, I think Kylar is smart enough to like know what. No, I think they do have a plan. I just think like them getting DC content, like more DC content, like greenlit from Walter, has been a pain in the ass. The guy hasn't done anything since he's been in charge, except for maybe Birds of Prey, I think.
Shazam.
Shazam was already started before he took the job. So, like, there's only one or two projects that were fully his, right? He made Trouble with Joker. He tried to axe that. I just think Walter is not giving Kylar enough to work with, right? And that's the reason for a lot of lack. Like for Marvel, you look over and you know what's happening for the next 10, 15 years. But for DC, you really don't know what's going on for the next year. Like you don't know what we're getting. And I think it's caused a lot of issues. And I think they're going back to the drawing board. And the Snyder Cut is a pivotal point, right? So if they release that as a one-off and just say, see you later, that's going to fuck them later on.
And so that's kind of where they are right now.
Look, we can talk about Snyder Cut until the fucking cows come home. Believe me.
True.
And but still, guys, what this tells us about the MCU, at least, as I pivot back, what it does tell us about the MCU is that this is definitely a standalone movie because the fact that they keep pushing this off, then what real connection, hard connection does it have to the MCU storyline? It doesn't. I mean, I think they introduced some characters, but they're all probably all going to die. And so it's kind of like, hey, this is just a story of, Black Widow's character, of Romanoff.
An origin.
A long overdue story.
Yeah, and it's just like, and he's just holding out for that theater money at this point. He's like, dude, I'm not going to give into that. And the thing is that he doesn't have to. Yeah. Kevin Feige doesn't have to give into that because he knows that he already has WandaVision and Falcon the Winter Soldier already lined up.
Yeah, and isn't Florence
out?
Yeah,
isn't Florence Pugh playing?
The only thing that yes, Yelena Belova, and she's the only person that could possibly.
What did you call me?
Come into the.
She's making an appearance, I think, in either WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier. I think she's in Falcon and Winter Soldier. She's making an appearance, so they are going to continue her story. They are giving it to her, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had like a trilogy for Black Widow. If it's $1 billion movie, they're not going to not make a sequel.
Oh damn! I shouldn't put that up. Okay.
What is that one? I missed that one.
It's the image that he posted the other day.
Okay. I see Ernest. What Ernest is saying about like we're getting new stuff every single day. But again, consider the source. The source is Zach, which is amazing.
Okay. How about this, Matt? What have you heard about this? Have you heard anything about this? Is Chris Evans coming back as Captain America?
It's been reported by different. I know Mikey Sutton reported on it a while back, before the story broke last week, and I would assume that they're going to do something with them. I think Evans is not getting a lot of other roles outside of Captain America. You know,
Buzz Lightyear.
Animated.
Who cares?
Well, I mean, hey, Kelly Marie Tran and Raya the Last Dragon, so it's like whatever. But I just, you know, it's kind of like Robert Downey Jr. He's going over to go do Sherlock Holmes 3 after Doolittle failed because and Anthony Mackie was correct. We're not in the age of movie stars anymore. We're in the age of characters. Yeah. And these actors are playing these characters, and that's, you know, I mean, Anthony Mackie wants to continue playing Falcon until the end of time, but in the meantime, he's doing all these Netflix movies because they're paying for that. Yeah, he's doing good, but it's like, but still, he understands that this is the business, and we're not seeing a lot of. There's fewer and fewer stars that are personality driven for certain films. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it used to be, oh, I want to go see the new Schwarzenegger or the new Stallone movie. Now it's like, yeah.
I like how you just have everything.
He's like, God damn it! This is what I gotta look forward to. Is fucking Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz is like,
Pixar.
oh, this is the dude that's gonna play me.
It's gonna make $1 billion. Now, in WandaVision, what do you guys think? Going back to Wonder Man, anything? Do you think he'll show up?
I don't know much about the character, to be honest with you. So,
I'm gonna say.
What about Grim Reaper? Why would they show his helmet and not actually have him in the show? And his brother is you know, Wonder Man. So I don't know. I just think there's a correlation.
Maybe there. and again, we, for all we know, right? This is season 1. That all could be setting up things for season 2 or beyond, right? Not everything has to come to fruition this season. They could be setting the dropping stones for hopefully. I would assume that if this does well, yes.
And you also got to think about it. This is only like the third of the season. We have 6 more episodes left, and we've seen so much from the trailers in these, and only these for the first 3. It's like what they did with Mando. They showed you like, oh look, you have the first 4 episodes. Those are like all the trailers. Now all the other shit, all the new episodes are like shit you haven't even seen. Yeah.
Yeah, they're building up slowly, which I like. I'd rather them take their time and build up these series as opposed to just like, you know, they're all hitting you with the kitchen sink, like, everything go, you know. And look, like Anthony says, Loki got season 2 so quickly. Yeah, I mean, they already greenlit season 2 for Loki, which means that that storyline has a bigger connection to the overall universe as well, which is really, really cool.
Dude, Loki looks so fun. Looks fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to watch that.
You know what's funny about Loki was that, like, when they announced that, I wasn't that excited for it. I thought it was gonna be cool. I'm never gonna watch it, but I was like, oh, okay. But when you finally saw like the trailer for it, I was like, dude, this looks fucking badass.
The soundtracks. Oh my gosh.
Because Feige understands the audience.
So hard. I agree with Nicotina on this. Like, for when we heard about the first 3 shows, my list was Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki. But like then seeing the Loki trailer, that jumped to number 1 real quick.
Oh,
the
yeah.
TVA is awesome.
Fucking incredible.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Then at the end of the trailer, he's all like, "Be ready, Heimdall." I'm like, are we gonna see fucking Heimdall again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, no, he says brother and Heimdall. So
yeah, he does.
And I'm just waiting for more Owen Wilson because who doesn't love Owen Wilson?
Yes.
And here's the thing.
Are we gonna do this?
What?
Are we gonna do this for Loki?
Of course, I'm gonna do this for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm gonna do this for Loki. I'm gonna do this for everything.
Dude, this
my
is
man. All right.
I won't do this for. I already said it for ZSJL, but I will do it eventually.
Snyder.
Yeah, but so at first,
dude, everyone's gonna be doing streams for like fucking Zack Snyder.
That's great. Look at Fatal J just went live with his WandaVision episode 3 review.
Like,
no, it's just a pre-recorded video. Yeah, and then it was a Denim Nerds went live too.
Oh, of course he did, because Josh is gonna do Josh. That's always gonna happen. It's like even after Mando, since the season 2 finale of Mando, I did a live stream. I think I had like close to 400 people watching.
That's nice. I have 32. So
You know, but that was like, but it was just like, but these were random people that this because everyone was streaming when it was over. Everyone was streaming.
I mean, after for the Mando season finale, I had a bunch of people just watching. I had almost 100 people watching just because like everyone was just online. And same with WandaVision in the premiere. I had more for the post show as well. So, we're getting Loki after Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah,
and then also Hawkeye's being filmed right now, and
Hawkeye.
then Moon Knight.
Oh, dude, Moon Knight.
Oh, Moon Knight as well.
Miss Marvel.
Isaac.
Miss Marvel, and then
you say Miss Marvel?
Yeah,
Ms. Marvel,
not
and
Captain
She-Hulk.
Marvel.
I knew he was
not Captain Marvel. Not Captain Marvel.
Miss Marvel. We'll see how it turns out.
She is a big fan of. Hey, that's gonna be a sleeper. I guarantee it.
I'm a big fan of everything. Does that mean you can cast me in a role?
Honestly, WandaVision sounds kind of like a sleeper, to be honest. Like I had like very little expectations, and then you hear all these rumors, and like, oh, dude, is Mephisto actually gonna show? Because Mephisto's crazy. He was able to like fight Thanos with like the Infinity Stones. He's like super powerful.
Yeah, he's the devil.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
He's an archangel.
And she is definitely Agatha at this point, I believe.
Yes.
So what the fuck
she
is up with
Agatha
Ralph?
Harkness all day.
Oh yeah, Ralph.
bro. When Vision was like, "Hey, bro, I think you're trimming the hedges a little bit too much," I was dying.
And he didn't stop either. It's like, what are you doing,
kept
dude?
going. I was like, what the fuck?
Cutting through the cement.
I have not heard this, Junior, that there was a rumor that Jennifer Lawrence is back in Mystique. I have not heard that. Matt, have you heard that?
She hated that role.
She hated it.
Not like.
Yeah, she would never go back
she
to that
hated
role.
the
Why do you
makeup.
think the makeup got worse?
Yeah,
No,
she
Days
didn't
of
wanna
Future
wear all
Past
that
was
shit.
good. In Days of Future Past, it was good, but in Apocalypse, she was out of character outside like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then she just had like the shittiest makeup for Dark Phoenix. Again, it's not I like Dark Phoenix, but that was like a low point in the movie was her makeup.
So he says, my theory is Ralph is Doctor Strange. Ralph was the neighbor, right?
No, Ralph is the girl.
No,
husband.
Herb.
Oh,
Agatha, whatever her name is, that she keeps talking
Maybe.
I mean, it could be.
I don't think
know.
any of them are Doctor Strange.
No,
if
I don't
any
think
of them are Doctor Strange, he would have popped out by now. Because he
I thought
knows
that
her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think.
What cracked me up though is that do these earrings make me look fat? And then the power goes out.
he's
Oh,
like,
thank God.
The lights go out.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Saved by the bell. Saved by the bell.
Did you see the sword next? Oh yeah, we all saw that. It's like zoom out. Like, he's like, what is that? He's like, and she
There was
tried
a
to change
good
her
like
story,
2-minute
too.
scene on it.
Yeah, she's trying to change her story. She's like, what did you just say? I said you're an amazing woman. You know, trying to change the subject. She's like, nah, dude, you said Ultron.
So did she like mean to do that? Was she just like Or did she like?
Oh yeah, no, she was definitely trying to like trying to wake her up. Yeah, but she went in too strong because she saw her starting to like have a moment.
Yeah,
she's like,
remember when Ultron killed her?
Yeah,
She was like,
remember that low point of your life? You felt like shit.
When we had to put the bullets in him, he was dying.
Yeah, you didn't see that coming.
Wake up, bitch! That's basically what happened.
What do you think Doctor Strange's role will be in WandaVision?
Oh,
Where'd you go?
Tyler?
Tyler's
Tyler's in the wall.
all right. Hey,
Oh, there we go.
Got him.
Just gonna-
No,
in the
bro,
wall.
I'm saying it right now. Strange is gonna show up at the end, and
Yes.
Mephisto gonna have a duel.
I don't know about having
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I
do
maybe.
I do believe he will show up at the end, and you know he'll have one of those scenes where he'll come in and he'll be like, "I'll take this. You know, I'll take it from here." You know what I mean? Something where it's
Like
going to
he'll
lead right
take
into
her
his
out of
movie.
it.
Yeah, where you're like, "Holy shit!" and then that's going to end. Like, fuck.
Well, see, I
Yeah,
think that
I mean-
because was it Paul Bettany said that the ending of the show has like as big of any kind of action sequence as
Well, yeah, the budget of this show is bigger than Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Loki. It's the biggest budget.
which is
Wait,
so
well,
weird
they
because
have
it's all
special effects.
practical.
I know.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? So I mean, look at that last
This
sequence.
next 6 episodes is gonna be fucking insane.
Fucking insane.
That was a real story.
Yeah, like
Tony Stork.
What's up, Prime? Yeah, Tony Stork.
oh shit, Robert Downey Jr. provides in his
I
role.
think, yeah, I think Doctor Strange will be in the last episode, and that's it. Whatever form that takes is whatever form that takes.
He'll be at the very, very end, and then that will lead into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Like, it kind of gives you a nod to, okay, that's where we're going next. But here's the thing, though, is that Falcon and Winter Soldier, do you think this connects in any way to their storyline, or do you think this is going to be totally separate when it comes to Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I think it's going to be separate, but I don't know how you would connect the two, I guess, is the real question.
Unless they're in a alternate timeline, or they're in an alternate universe that Doctor Strange has brought them into. Yeah. And that's where they introduced Hydra Cap. And I forgot who was. I think Gavin was saying it. Or maybe it was Ty. Yeah, that Doctor Strange would bring those two with him, and then that's where Falcon would take on Hydra Cap. So now you have get his ass beat. He'll get cheeks clapped.
Most likely.
Do you know about U.S. Agent and Winter Soldier and Falcon?
What?
Yeah.
The character
so he's
US
like
Agent?
mind controlled by.
Zemo?
Yeah, he's mind controlled. He's.
Oh yeah. Okay, so Nicotina, I'll explain this for you really quickly. U.S. Agent is U.S. Agent is a character in the comics when Cap dies, and the government is all like, they don't want any of like his friends to take over the mantle. They want to like make their own Captain America and like make him propaganda. So they pull someone out of the military. Can't think of his name right now, but they inject him with a super soldier serum, and they make him.
I remember U.S. Agent.
Okay, so.
Comic.
Oh yeah, sure. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure, man. Like you totally.
Like, whatever, dude. They'll try to save face. But go ahead. Explain.
Yeah, no. So, I don't know where they're gonna go from there, because in the comics, like, he makes himself look terrible. Like, he can't, with Cap, like, living with his power for a while, he learned to adapt. But U.S. Agent's like first day out, like he throws his shield at a Hydra agent, doesn't understand his strength, and he cuts the Hydra agent in half in front of hundreds of people.
It would be like The Boys, like oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hella gory right away, like, oh fuck, it's gonna be a little different.
I like the guy that they got to play John Walker in the show.
That's his name.
I forget what his name is. I forget what the guy's name who's playing him is.
How the fuck?
He's
Jesus,
really.
Well, I can't. It's not that hard.
He's got everything. He's lined up.
Huh?
We are streaming over the interwaves and stuff, So getting a picture, I assume, is pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah.
I was like,
but John Walker, like Gavin said, John Walker is an interesting character.
Wyatt Russell's playing him.
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell, yes, Wyatt Russell. He's a very talented actor, and I don't think that he's gonna have some like small role. I think it'll be central to the storyline, and I think that he's gonna be the start to the Thunderbolts. So General Ross's Thunderbolts, as we all know, General Ross has said it before that he's tried to recreate the super soldier serum on several occasions. One of them being the time that
Abomination.
The whole Hulk thing. The Abomination. So I think that General Ross has something to do with it, and this is going to lead into the Thunderbolts somehow, and I bet we get a Thunderbolts show eventually, but all the clues are pointing towards the Thunderbolts, which I wanted to touch on because I think that's such a good storyline.
Hey guys, if you haven't done so yet, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. We're going to be doing this every week, watching WandaVision. We're also going to be doing it for Falcon and Winter Soldier, for Loki, for any series that comes out on Disney Plus or HBO Max that's the DC related or Marvel related or Star Wars related. We're going to be doing watch parties right here. Matt, you've been awfully quiet, man.
What? I've talked to lots of parts. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, right. Other Matt. Sorry.
Younger Matt.
You have to start designating.
Yeah, designating.
Just say mad.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah, better in every way, Matt.
Don't call me that. Yeah.
Just going to rant.
Billy and Tommy are the reason Wanda is in that illusion. Well, that's what she always wanted. But getting her out of that illusion is gonna be pretty tough. I mean, look, she already almost flipped the fuck out when what's her face tried to make her realize it.
Right.
That
I
is
thought
the
she was
worst
gonna kill
way to make her realize it. Like,
I know. She's like,
let's ease into it. Remember when your fucking brother got murdered by a psychopath?
well, she brought it up though. She was like, I had a brother. His name was Pietro, and he died. And she
I
was
really
like,
want to know what they were talking about in the kitchen. I really want to know
Ultron.
what the hell they were saying.
yeah. She's like Ultron.
Because is that guy an
Oh, never
agent
mind.
too? Sword agent?
He could be. He could easily be. But now we know that the sword agents are definitely trying to infiltrate the bubble. And look how far she got. I mean, she was there during like the what do you call it? The meeting with all the wives. She was there during the magic show. So she definitely infiltrated that whole community, and they were unaware about it, or unaware of it until the very end.
Yeah, so I don't know who you said this, but that theory that it's taking over the world, the bubble is taking over the world, seems like it's the right thing, because the neighbor was like, they clearly wanted to tell Vision something really, really bad. So is it that they're all trapped here basically, or is it that it's just all fake? Because the neighbor clearly knows something, wanted to tell Vision, but Agatha stopped him. And I think we've kind of haven't touched on that yet.
Yeah, she definitely changed what he was going to say to Vision. But then again, unless he's a shield agent, why would he want to tell her, or why would he want to tell him?
Remember, because if it's taking over the world, he might be someone who's in there not by choice, but by force.
Right. Well, we'll see. I think Agnes is going to have a much bigger role to play as we move forward. I mean, she was definitely aware of what was going on, and she was trying very hard not to be too obvious about it when she was talking to Vision, but she knew it was happening, and she knows what's going on. So,
I don't think they may not know what's going on, but keep in mind, this is a small town, because the doctor said, small towns have a funny way of not letting you escape, right?
Right.
And that's, and then it's possible because they're like, oh, it's like she doesn't have a home. So who is she? People get very suspicious in small towns. So that could be what it is, that they just go, who is this person? And then now she's been ejected. So who knows what the next episode is going to show.
Well, he said that to Vision right after they had that conversation in the kitchen. So maybe she told him that she told Monica Rambeau told that guy, the doctor guy, something, and then when they walked outside, Vision was all like, yeah, whatever. He was talking to something, and he was all like, oh yeah, well, it's hard to get out of a small. He said that. So you got to wonder, what did they talk about? What is she?
Yeah.
In that.
Yeah,
kitchen?
I don't know what they were discussing. I think it's going to be. Obviously, it's going to be explained as time goes on.
But it's interesting the character changed from episode 2 with that character, Monica, I think that's her name. In episode 2, because she didn't know where she was. She was like, I don't know how I got here, or where, and then all of a sudden there's a realization in episode 3. So it's like,
oh yeah,
that's true.
Oh, yeah,
and she was fully aware of who she was.
I forgot about that.
So maybe she was.
She was like, I don't remember where
That's true.
Yeah. Maybe when you enter the bubble, you kind of have to readjust.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she finally remembered who she was, and she's like, "Okay, now's my chance to try and wake her up." And then she brought up Ultron. That was a little too much.
Wait,
too soon.
You blew it, kid. You blew it.
I know.
You had one job.
You're OUT out.
I mean, yeah, we've already seen that. Like Wanda's already in control. Like with the whole Vision thing, Vision confronts her, and then she rewinds it. Vision's all of a sudden different. So
he didn't remember what happened. He's like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, she only got kicked out because she brought up her dead brother.
I mean, but here's the thing, though, is that we see Vision in this world, and we know Vision is dead. So I go back to the whole, and I know I keep riding this dead horse here, the whole Wonder Man story, because I mean his consciousness was transferred into Vision at one point. So what if that's happened again, and that's why Vision is running around alive, because it's actually Wonder Man who's controlling Vision, but he doesn't know it yet because he's in the bubble, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And every time he starts to figure it out, she rewinds it, and he just goes along with whatever he's supposed to be doing. And what
did Wonder Man have super speed? I can't remember.
He's like, so you got Wonder Man is like Marvel's Captain Atom, if you for DC, if you know who that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very
super speed.
I think he has like unlimited. He's like energy. I think is what his power is.
Yeah, no, he is energy. And
I
that's
don't
how
remember this whole like his Vision all of a sudden just has super speed. I mean, he never used it before.
Yeah. Well, hey, you brought up what if Wonder Man gets introduced in the show, and then he plays like the role of Hyperion for the Thunderbolts. Like Wonder Man is a part of the the Thunderbolts, which would be interesting like to set
Very
up.
interesting.
I mean, this is going a lot of different directions now. And look at that. But I think that if James Gunn was going to use him as a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, and he even said that he felt that Nathan Fillion was the perfect person to play that character, it wouldn't shock me if we saw him again. And what if Grim Reaper, who's actually maybe he's the one who has her in that unconscious state because he has the ability to do so, and his brother has taken over Vision's body, and he's in that bubble, like acting as Vision, but he doesn't know that he is Vision yet. So it could get really weird.
I really hope they don't go too fucking weird, like, because the thing is they have to still make it approachable for normies, and if they dive too deep into it, it's going to push people off. It's going to put them off because it's too confusing. And when that happens, the audience loses interest. It's like, what was I hearing today about Hamada reaching out to Greg Berlanti, like for help with like creating a multiverse? So it's like, again, you just, if you start making it too complicated, people, they become frustrated and then they lose interest. But I actually have to go to bed.
Yeah. So I actually, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up right now, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Gavin, Matt Jarbo, and Ty from Pop Culture Corner, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And also a big shout out to Brian Master of None, who was here earlier with the go. And we'll be back here next week for WandaVision episode 4 on the watch party
and
here
5.
on the show. If you ask me, it's going to be episode 5 as well. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys, sticking around for the watch party
thanks,
and
man.
also the post show. And we'll do it again next week.
Thank you, Nicotina.
You're welcome. And thank you, Matt Jarbo, for showing up, dude. You're always welcome here. You know that, man.
I anger your audience.
That's great. And one last shout out to the patrons of the Nicotina Show: Zeverfet, Nerdy Many Ways, ACS Universe, Gavin Cooley. He's here right now. What's up, Gavin? Gillis 15, Ruben Casper Jr., and DC Talk with Extended. Thank you so much for supporting the show, guys. We'll see you again next week. Yay!
See you next week.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.